Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Phoning It In. I am Michael Carvelli, joined, as always, by John Terry, who is in another state, and I can't remember where.
You don't know where I am.
You're in Minnesota.
Minnesota. Very
That's
good.
right.
Minneapolis.
I knew you sent us a thing of like the stadium, and I was trying to remember.
I have some beer from Black Stack Brewing.
There you go. I have a water, and I have a ginger ale.
Ginger ale quality. I'm in Minneapolis. I was home for 36 hours and we got here this morning.
There we go.
The grind continues.
Always, man.
Cool stadium, man.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Yes.
What are you there for?
We have a women's national team game against Korea Republic.
When?
On Tuesday night.
Oh.
We had a game on last Wednesday or Thursday? Yeah. Thursday against Korea Republic as well.
Okay.
In Kansas
City. Was why I was confused. Okay. Gotcha. So
though. Have you ever been to Minneapolis?
No.
Dude, if it weren't so cold, it has March written all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, by the end of March, I think we'd be good.
I don't know about Minnesota. It's pretty fucking cold here, and it's October 24th.
I mean, it gets cold around this time of year.
I know. I'm just not ready for it, man.
I think you'd hit that spring stretch where it's like, it's probably still a little chilly, but it would be like good.
Perhaps. Yeah. Perhaps. But anyways, a very exciting day. Flew first class this morning.
Woo!
Phenomenal.
Wow.
Kicking it. Although something awkward happened to me. How would you handle the situation? I think I handled the situation how you would handle the situation. I'm bored. I have a window seat.
By the way, I'm listening to this story now, trying to gauge whether or not that was an insult. Go ahead.
I'm supposed to be sitting in 1F, which is the window seat, first row on the left as you board the plane. Board the plane. I get on and I board a little late because I was like hanging with the coworkers. There's already a woman sitting in my seat fast asleep. Mind you, I really wanted the window seat because I wanted to nap. Right? Like I was like tired as shit.
Yeah.
West Virginia played last night. We're recording this on Sunday night. West Virginia played last night. The Braves got to the World Series last night. I was up late. I had to wake up at 5:30 to get to get to the airport.
Yeah.
Woman's passed out asleep.
First off, I bet she wasn't.
She looked pretty passed out asleep. Might have been part of her strategy.
That's 100% what it was. It was, I'm going to get in here first and I'm going to act like I'm asleep so that they won't do anything about it.
What would you do?
I feel like I would attempt to nudge them.
Oh, okay.
To make sure they were at least supposed to be in that row. Because you don't want to be in a situation where like you just say, okay, well, I'll sit like in the aisle or something. And then
someone else,
that person was supposed to be in like row 8 instead of row 1.
That'd be a pretty bad fuck up.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just sat down in the aisle and let it be.
Yeah, I mean I feel like that's what you would. That would probably be ultimately what I would do. But I think I would try to like communicate with them somehow just to make sure they were supposed to be there. Because like at the end of the day, if I have to sit in the aisle, that's not that big a deal. It's right. It's not what I prefer, but like as long as they are where it's supposed to be and it's not going to kind of like lead to a bigger issue with a different person, then, you know.
Yeah, it was an interesting situation.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But we worked it out. I just stayed up and worked on the plane.
Yeah, not bad. Traveling pro, man. I mean, that's the thing. Like you do it enough. You've got it down at this point. I trust you to come up with the right decision, you know.
I want to get into a situation where I have basically all of my clothes that I just travel with. So I just have a suitcase packed at all times.
Like a separate wardrobe, basically.
Yes.
I like that. I feel like you probably could, right?
The last 3 weeks, I've just gone home,
because
laundry, and I put everything back in the suitcase.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like with you, or well, you do like suits, right? Okay,
I need to actually get a new suit. Have you ever heard of Indochino?
Yeah, we used it for your wedding, right?
Did we?
I thought.
No, we used something else for my wedding. We used a black tux for my
wedding. Oh, that's right. Okay, but I've heard of Indochino they like sponsor podcasts.
Podcasts, yeah. So I think I might do a custom suit through Indochino.
Nice.
Like I never used to care about suits. Like I just get like a cheap one from Men's Warehouse because I wore like 9 or 10 times a year. But now I'm wearing a suit like 20 to 30 times a year.
I like that. I was gonna say it being a suit makes it a little bit different, but I was gonna say, yeah, if you're just like wearing US soccer stuff all the time, you could easily just have like a separate suitcase of work clothes.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe one
that'd
day.
be a cool, like, smart thing to do, though. I mean,
right? Like I have a separate toiletry bag. Like I don't use
Right.
any of the same toiletries at home that I do on the road. It just stays in my suitcase.
yeah,
Because I don't have to worry about forgetting anything.
and especially like you said, once you're on the road so much, like it would make it so much easier to just say, like,
And then you don't have to pack. Like you don't have to spend the time and energy into packing.
right. You don't have to like make sure you have everything. Like me panicking before I left for Chicago, like, okay, do I have enough of what I need? Because you already know it's there. It's all good. You're good to go.
Right. Anyways, not to get off track here, but that is I also cut my own hair this weekend.
Whew.
Look at that. Look at that cut.
Yeah. Wow. Man. How was that? Is that the first time you've done that?
I cut it in the bathroom downstairs for the first time. Mariel had to come do the ears.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah, that's good.
That was great.
Someone told me on the Friday I got back from Kansas City, we were on a video call, and someone sent me a message and said I looked Amish because of my beard and my overgrown hair.
You do go with the chin, like the strap, which is fun.
You don't like it?
I like it for you. I like you doing what you want to do. You know, I would never. I make some bad choices with things.
Have you ever done a handlebar?
No.
Could you please?
I can't.
Sure you can. When's the last time you shaved?
I don't think I've shaved since I got back.
Like, does your facial hair grow pretty quickly?
I have not shaved since like the day I left for Chicago.
But like the chin mustache area.
I mean, does this look much different than it was when I was in Chicago?
No, my point is if you shave that off.
It takes a while. I mean,
okay. When's the last time you shaved? When's the last time you were clean shaven? It's been a while.
No, it's not. I did it. I honestly did it like a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Or it wasn't maybe like completely clean shaven, but it was like gone.
Yeah,
I mean, it takes a few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a while to have something this bad grow in.
It's not bad.
It's pretty bad. But okay, real quick, because we have it's funny because we recorded the episode that went up earlier this week.
3 days ago.
Yeah, just like very recently. So
has that been posted yet?
By the time this goes up, it will have been up for a few days.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. That goes up on Monday morning.
Got it. Okay.
And then this will go up on Thursday as we attempt to get back into our regular schedule.
Got it.
Okay. But it's funny. I mean, we actually have like a few things to talk about over the course of like the 3 days that we haven't talked. Which is funny. Yeah. But one thing I wanted to get into, and I kind of talked a little bit to you about this the other day. Somebody that I follow on Twitter was talking about this show, and it caused me to kind of fall down a rabbit hole on YouTube watching it because all of the episodes are on it. I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it to you as if I do not. Do you remember a game show from the late 2000s, I believe 2008-ish, on Fox called The Moment of Truth?
Do not. I did not, at least.
Oh my God. When I say, so it's funny, there are so many things that it's like funny to look back on and see like, oh man, like I can't believe they like put that on TV, or like I can't believe that joke was like okay for like a PG movie or something like that. When I'm amazed that this show was on not only on TV, but like on primetime TV on like a major broadcast network that went out to everybody. And like, you know, it's just like a thing that families probably watch together on like a Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m.
Dude, can you imagine watching this with your parents?
People had to have. I feel like I probably did because I remember watching it. I remember the show. Like I remember knowing that it existed and like seeing some of it. But basically, for anybody out there who does not know, it is a game show in which a contestant before the show starts goes through a lie detector test, and they are asked 50 yes or no questions of like varying degrees of personalness. What would be the way to put that? They
personal
get
questions.
they get
There's personal
increasingly
questions.
more personal as they
right.
go.
Like,
And
do you like Cheerios and did you cheat on your husband?
Correct. And then from those 50 questions they're asked, obviously the lie detector gets a read on whether their answer was true or false. And so of those 50 questions, 21 are picked to go to the show. And if a person answers 21 questions truthfully, they win $500,000. And the wrinkle comes from these personal questions about.
Well, hold on. One thing to clarify that I think is important, that you can opt out at any time and take money. Like that's a very important thing. So like it's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Like after you win $100,000, you could walk.
Right. Like you answer like 5 questions and then you earn like $1,000 or $10,000 or whatever. And like each checkpoint you can stop if you want to. But the moment that you miss one question, you lose it all.
And you lose a lot more, as you will talk about.
Well, okay. So on the stage, you have the host and the contestant. And then like just off the main stage is like a little couch where the person's like close family, best friends, that kind of thing sit. A lot of times it'll be like the parents of the contestant's significant other, and then like their sibling or like best friend or something like that. Right. So a lot of these questions are about these people that are with them on stage.
Yep.
And like they get the little buzzer where they can say they don't want to hear the question or whatnot. But like families get ruined by this show, John. Like the questions of like just straight up, like, have you cheated on your husband? Do you regret marrying your wife? Like
when the boyfriend came on and said, if I wanted to like get back with you, would you leave your husband, in front of her husband?
And she said yes. And it was true. That's the thing. Like they were like, yeah, they're telling the truth when they say they would leave you, guy. And you're just watching this person like
ruin her life.
Yeah. And like Nick and I were having the discussion that we have when it comes to like anything like this, any like reality show type thing, whatever you want to call it, where it's like, is it real?
Oh, I think it's real.
Like, is it scripted at all? Are they in on it?
If money is being given away, I don't think it's scripted. Like lawyers are involved. I don't know.
But it's just like, I want it to be fake, because if it's not fake, I feel so
I don't
bad.
think it's fake, dude. I think it's real.
Like
these people are idiots for starters.
Absolutely. Why would you voluntarily do a show like this? Would you do it?
If you were on the show, what would be your strategy?
Get out as soon as possible.
Like get to like 100K in dart.
Let me see the 100K. It's too late. By the 100,000 question, it's like, that's when the 100,000 question was when the girl's like ex-boyfriend came on and was like, would you leave your husband for me? So like 100,000 is maybe too early.
25,000.
I would say like maybe 10. I would win like 10 in both.
But that's still cash money.
Yeah, it's $10,000. I'm feeling good about it. I probably have made myself look like an idiot and have probably like admitted things that who knows, but it's not as bad as it would be as some of these things. Cause some of these there was one. So like I said, I fell down the rabbit hole. I watched like several episodes of this thing. One of them it was like a woman whose family came from this I don't know if it was Mormon or Amish or it was some kind of background where they like did like the polyamorous stuff with like multiple wives and things like that. And one of the
how many episodes have you watched actually before you continue?
Probably like 4 or 5.
Okay. I just pulled it up on YouTube. I'm definitely gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah, probably like 4 or 5. But this one, it was like she won the whole thing. She won $500,000.
And how much of?
But the last question was literally like, do you think your dad has ever had sex with a minor? And her answer was yes. And it was true. And then like they had this whole thing.
When you say it was true, that means that's what she truly believes.
Yes, but also
not that he slept with the minor.
But also he did, because they went on to explain it. Because like in this whole whatever weird, I don't know what background he came from, I can't remember, but basically he was his second wife or third wife or something that he was given. This girl's dad, like,
what the fuck, man?
Arranged for them to be married when she was like 17.
What a fucked world. Like, this was on ABC?
Fox.
Well,
it's insane, man. I mean, it's literally, and like hearing like the people like boo the contestants when they say they need to stop.
So there's a studio audience.
Yeah. And they're like reacting. They're like pushing them to keep going. They're reacting to the questions and the answers and all this stuff. I highly recommend. Like, looking back on it, it's such a interesting like 2000s time capsule. I don't know. It's an awful show that I could not stop watching.
I'm excited to watch it tonight.
I think you should. You'd enjoy it. I'll tell you which ones.
I have let's see here. The Moment of Truth, episode 5 up.
That is the one that I was texting you about. That's the one.
Oh, they got like all of them up.
Yeah, like every episode is on there. I think they had
episode like, 7.
I'm looking through.
6 looks pretty good too.
6.
Yeah, I'm doing 6, man. This woman looks pissed.
Oh, 6 is a pretty good one. So I'm watched
6.
Okay. I watched 5, 6. I think I watched 5, 6, 7. And then I think it was like episode, I can't remember which one it is looking at this thing, but I watched 5, 6, 7, and then that one that I was talking about where the girl won the whole thing. But I fully intend on watching more.
Like, can you imagine doing all of that? And I'll ask that question in a minute. And losing, like losing it all. Like, that sucks. Would you do this? Would you go on this show?
No. No. And I would like advise any friends to not do it.
I think I'd go on just for a few $1,000s.
I would maybe,
because I have a question. If the questions got too bad, you could just be like, fuck this, I'm leaving and I forfeit my money.
Well, if you leave, like if you would be like halfway up the pyramid to get to the 100,000 and you decided to leave, you would leave with 10.
Yeah, but even if let's say you're like, do you want to do the next question for $100,000? And it was going to ruin my life. You could all just be like, yeah, that's a bullshit question.
I mean, they do have a thing where you can hit like a buzzer. Like your family can hit a buzzer to make you not answer.
And what happens when that happens? Is it like just skipped?
They answer, they ask another question because there's 50 questions.
God.
So you just move on to another one.
Is there a limit on the number of things that can be skipped? One.
Just one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a fascinating show. I'm so glad I stumbled on it.
What made you find it, by the way?
Somebody was tweeting about it. Somebody I follow randomly started tweeting about it.
Did you remember it?
Once I like saw the video clip, because they sent the video clip of the person who won the 500,000.
Got it.
with the question about her dad and stuff. And once I saw like the setup of the show, I remembered it. But it was one of those things that I hadn't thought about it since like 2008.
What a world, man.
Crazy stuff, man. So that happened that was like, I watched that on like Friday, and that fell into like a little hole. But
on Friday,
what?
Where were you going to go with this?
I was going to go with WVU getting an esports team.
Okay, you could do that. I was going to say on Friday, I watched a movie.
Oh, we'll get into that. We've got some time, I think. Hold on. Yeah, we got some time still.
Okay.
So we've talked before, and we play a lot of video games. We've talked before about games and how we watch people on Twitch and all that stuff, and how esports is like this thing of the future that's like so hard to explain to people who are older and don't really get it. WVU announced its esports team the other day.
One member.
But it's like we announced that it's a thing.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
This kid presumably is getting a scholarship. He's
our scholarship esports athlete.
He's playing video games. He's making money.
He's a Madden player. He's one of the top 15 Madden players in the world. Big get for WVU. Got him to transfer from Maryland.
Did Maryland have an esports team? Sorry, John. Did Maryland have an esports team?
I would assume.
Okay.
I don't know. But he is coming to join our esports team and play in this like next level or level next Madden championship thing. But yeah, I mean, it's a guy who like won a national title. He's won like $35,000 in a tournament before.
Esports is cool. And just like esports and Twitch and all that stuff. I know it's different, but it's kind of also the same. Like this guy obviously has a Twitch channel. I imagine he has a bunch of followers. And
right.
I used to think that was the dumbest stuff. Like I never would watch video games. And I remember you were trying to get me to like watch video games. And honestly, the first video games I really ever watched was Nick when he was playing Call of Duty, and you when you were playing the what's that game called? Like
I never really streamed games much.
You did like once or twice.
I would stream like talking about movies. And then
regardless, like I started watching Twitch a lot, and I went through a period where I would be watching like 2 hours of Twitch every night.
I will say I have gotten into a thing where like I haven't been watching Twitch for many games as much anymore. But a lot of people have been like moving podcasts over.
Interesting.
To do live stuff on Twitch. That's actually one of the ones I listened to on there did like a 24-hour stream this weekend. And I tuned in for a little bit of it.
I just like, I wonder, I don't know. Yeah, that's better. It's fascinating to me that like, this is going to be such a big deal. Right.
Yeah.
And it should be. And it's cool that West Virginia is like doing it, one of the first, I don't know for certain, but Power 5 schools to like, do this.
Yeah. It feels like it's just like starting to really pick up steam.
So here's the question I have though. And, like growing up, my parents, at least, I don't know about Donna, would always get super pissed when I would like do things on the computer or play video games or whatever. Like you shouldn't be doing that. Go outside, play your game, study, whatever. Had esports been a thing? And we talked about earlier, like the top, you said the top 81 earners on Twitch since August 2019 earned at least $1 million. Yeah. A small number. I get that. And I'm not saying I would have been this amazing Twitch. Right. But do you think it would have opened up, like, do you think parents now, like if you have a kid and they want to play video games and Twitch is still a thing, would you encourage that? Because I think the game's changed, man. Like, I mean,
me personally, if I am a parent who has a kid in the future who is wanting to play, I'm not gonna like not let them play games. Like I will want them to like get other things that they have to get done. But I also like it's video games. Sure.
Right.
I would be very bad about that kind of thing though. Like, cause I watch fucking 800 billion movies a year.
If you could go back. Okay. Let's say 14-year-old Michael Carvelli, you're playing video games, whatever system is like the hot system back when you're 14. What game would you, and Twitch was a thing. Like you grew up watching Twitch.
Yeah.
Like Twitch was active. One, would you, because you've dabbled in Twitch, would you try to be a Twitch streamer?
Twitch.tv/Carvelli3.
Hell yeah.
You might be coming back soon. Who knows?
Yes. Would you try to do that? Or would it have changed anything for you?
I think so. Yeah. I also am like, I could see myself doing the Twitch thing because I like the idea of doing, I mean, even stuff like this, like where we're talking and it's
shooting the shit,
going out to people theoretically. Yeah, people could listen to it, whatever.
We have 2 listeners. We have Pat.
Yeah, we've got at least a couple. So I do like this a lot. So I could see myself. I think actually back then I definitely would have. But I would not have done like the competitive esports side of it. Because even then, like at 14 or whatever, I was still bad at video games the way I am now.
Right.
Like I'm not good at them. I like to play them, but I'm not good.
I think you sell yourself short.
I don't think that's true. I think you have not watched me play much of any game that's not like sports related. Because any game where it's like a shooter or like basically a lot of the stuff that's like big for esports is not my thing.
That's fair. That's
my thing. Maybe there's a world where I could have done like some FIFA or some, I guess back then at 14, 15, I would have been playing a lot of at that point I would have been playing a lot of NCAA. That's the game. I would have made a run to be an esports
NCAA, 100%
football person.
100%.
Maybe like MLB 2K back in the day. That kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely would do Twitch though, I think. Because even when I try it now, I like it a lot. I don't make the time to do it. And I also feel weird doing it because I don't like to do it for games. I like to do it for stuff like this, where you're just talking or you're watching a movie on the watch party thing or stuff like that.
You're shooting the shit.
Yeah. Like I don't really like it as much to play games on. I like it as just like a live streaming thing.
Interesting.
But
I think I agree with you. I think I would have done NCAA football. I used to be like actually pretty legit at that game.
I wish Sunday was trying to tell me like the stuff that you need to do for that. But there is a way to stream NCAA now. And I would love to do it. I would love for us to do, we could do we could do a phoning it in dynasty on stream. If I figure out how to get, because the Xbox is right behind me. I mean,
I don't have it anymore.
I have the old Xbox 360 with NCAA on it in here, right here. So, and I think I would imagine NCAA football is in it right now. The only games I play on it still are NCAA football and then the NCAA basketball 10.
You still play basketball?
I don't play it as much. I play football more than the basketball one. But it's so funny to see. I still have like the old saves that Nick and I would play when we lived together. We have a coach on the basketball game he has played like 15, 20 seasons.
The new one's coming out, right? Isn't there July of 2023?
Yeah, eventually.
That's too far away.
We're already starting to fill up spots for the online dynasty. So I would say we already have about 10.
Who am I? Am I one of those?
Yeah. Because hopefully by then it won't matter what console we all have.
Good point.
We'll be able to play it on whatever.
Good point. I mean, by that point, Lucas, man, will be out in LA. He'll just be playing those games.
It's gonna be very fun. We've already talked about him being added to pro clubs eventually for FIFA. But
Lucas, man, what a baller he is.
The best.
Like I'm so excited to like hang out with him in March since we're gonna do it where we're in LA where Nick lives.
We need to get them back on just for a little cameo.
Yeah, because he'd actually be cool now.
Yeah.
Not like a little,
just
flub of
just nothing
flubness.
like he was before. Just crap.
Yeah.
But okay, so you also we mentioned.
You know what we should also do? We should get Francis on to talk about how we should try to get Francis to air like some dirty laundry about like Nick.
I don't think she will do that.
I don't think she would either, but it would be fun.
Why would you bring it up?
We could do like Jerry Springer type stuff.
I don't think there's much Jerry Springer type stuff to get into there. I don't know.
There's chaos in the household.
So what you're saying is you just want to do moment of truth with. I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't either. That would suck.
Let's go ahead. Speaking of moment of truth, John.
What I thought you were. Yeah.
Your time for reckoning has come.
Yeah.
We are doing a special version of the Phoning It In movie club this week.
Can you pull up the rankings too when you get a chance?
I've got them right here. So this week,
share your screen so I can see them.
Well, I'm getting into just let me do my thing as a host, and then you can get to your thing of saying that I was right in a few minutes. So all this time we've been doing this movie club, the rom-com showdown, the whole time we've been going through movies and we've been getting into like good, but just fine movies, things like Always Be My Maybe and stuff like that. John has said like, oh, like, yeah, like Palm Springs was good, but like, is it really a rom-com? I don't think we should really count it that much. So I think we're just going to keep docking it down and down the list further and further. And it currently sits at number 8 on our list as we are 15 weeks into this thing. And here is the list that we have right now. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, but as I'm about to tell you right now, the 40-Year-Old Virgin stands at number 1, which I understand is probably a surprise to some people, but this is our list.
Yeah. Who told us that that was wrong? Someone did.
I've had a few people tell me it was an interesting choice.
Yes. Okay.
But I think it's a great movie. And we are, if nothing else, a group of boys who were 14 years old when it came out in 2005. 40-Year-Old Virgin number 1, The Big Sick number 2, You've Got Mail at number 3, Crazy Rich Asians number 4, 10 Things I Hate About You number 5, and then Wedding Crashers, Always Be My Maybe. The subject of tonight's discussion, we'll just say whatever. Palm Springs. Number 9 is Set It Up, which was our movie last week. And then number 10, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, followed by the bottom 5 of Fever Pitch, No Strings Attached, Hitch, The Proposal, and Love Wedding Repeat. For a long time, I have been saying that Palm Springs deserves a second look here, a second chance. And we finally took that chance. And so we rewatched it. If you don't know, we went over it a little bit last week, but 2 people get stuck in an endless time loop where they're stuck on a wedding day in Palm Springs. And they maybe fall for each other. Who knows? But John, what do you think of Palm Springs? First off, was this only your second time watching it?
Second time watching.
Okay. Because we did watch it before for the movie club, season 1 of the movie club.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. So here's my proposal to you.
Okay.
I am willing to move this movie up very high.
Woo!
Because what would you rank this movie
on my list? So yeah. how we've talked before about how we're having like our consensus list, and then at the end we are revealing our personal lists. My personal list, it's at number 2 right now,
behind 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Correct.
So I would say I would be willing to potentially even go higher than number 2.
Woo! I do think 40-Year-Old Virgin is better.
I don't. However, because I am showing compromise in moving this movie higher, I would also like you to show compromise in moving another movie lower.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
You know a movie I'm talking about.
I do.
Which one?
It'd be the wrong move to move 10 Things I Hate About You down. Now, if you want to talk about moving Set It Up, I'm open to that discussion.
I think 10 Things I Hate About You should move to number.
I will allow you to move it down one spot.
How about 2 spots?
One spot.
Because I am moving up Palm Springs 7 spots.
I think Palm Springs moves up 6.
And okay, so
10
Palm
Things
Springs
I Hate About You moves down 1.
So Palm Springs goes to 2.
Okay.
You can move it.
Hold on. Let's go ahead and do this. Palm Springs to number 2.
Yeah.
Now I will allow 1 spot.
But how about this? I would compromise and say 10 Things I Hate About You, move down 2 spots. But we could swap, Set It Up, and Always Be My Maybe.
I will allow this and that.
No, dude. Set It Up is better than 10 Things I Hate About You.
It's not at all.
It is.
No, it's not.
10 Things I Hate About You needs to drop 1 more spot. And then I'm okay with this.
Why?
Because 10 Things I Hate About You is not a good movie.
Yes, it is. It's a great movie.
It's not a good movie.
I need a reason other than I don't like it.
I don't think it's good. I don't think it's a good movie. And it even had the Seattle thing going for it. And I didn't like it. Set It Up is a fascinating movie.
It's
about there are multiple
unbelievable that you don't like this.
Multiple story plots with Set It Up.
It's so stupid. This is dumb. I hate this. I'm doing this under protest. I hate it. It's bad. This is a bad list. Like this. It's a bad list like this. It is a bad list and I hate it.
What is the one thing you don't like about it?
The thing we're fucking arguing about right now.
Dude, I feel like though you were very heavy on Palm Springs being a very good. I thought you'd be happier right now.
Yeah, but you're also knocking down a movie that should be in the top 5. Palm Springs. Here's the thing. We got my number 2 out of the number 8 spot, but we just put my number 3 into the number 8 spot.
Well, that's a personal problem because that's not the 3rd best movie.
It is.
No.
It's a great romantic comedy.
I mean, is it gonna fucking like, hurt you that much that it's number 7? Because if it is, we can move it back to number 6.
It annoys me. It should be. It should be from this list. I'm understanding you're not going to put it above Crazy Rich Asians, but it should be higher than 8. It should be higher than 8. It's a great movie. I think you're insane that you don't like it. This is not me playing it up for a podcast. This is me genuinely talking to my friend, telling him he is crazy.
Not a good movie, man.
It's a great movie. Heath Ledger has an iconic role as the Joker in The Dark Knight. And I still think this might be my favorite Heath Ledger. Straight up. Great movie. It's a great movie.
This challenge was all about finding compromise. And I feel like hold
on. 10 Things I Hate About You is available on Amazon Prime. Twitch.tv/Carvelli3. 10 Things I Hate About You watch party. Where we watch the movie and I want to hear from you what doesn't work as it's going.
I don't have enough time to waste on a 2-hour movie.
We have been on this podcast for about 2 hours. Or on this Zoom doing the podcast and preparing to do the podcast for about 2 hours now. Checkmate. So if anybody wants to hear that, let us know. We'll figure out a time. Because I would like to hear in real time what doesn't work for you. It's such a good movie. It's wild to me that you don't like it.
I don't
understand.
So can I admit something? I think the fact that it's older is one reason I don't like it.
It's not even that much older.
The other thing is, I wonder Personally.
It should, honestly, the fact that it's older should be perfect for you. Like the fact that it was something that came out when we were like young, that if you were a normal person who watched things other than sports from the time you were like 10 until the time you were 38 years old or whatever you are now, like you would love this, because that's part of why I like it, is because I loved it as a kid.
Right.
It's great. You're wrong.
I enjoyed Palm Springs though. Can we talk about Palm Springs?
I would love to talk about Palm Springs because
fucking amazing movie. Dude, I love the characters.
They're so
like
good.
Sandberg and who's the girl?
Kristen Milioti.
Dude,
she
so good, so likable, unbelievable.
I don't know. You never watched How I Met Your Mother, did you?
A little bit, but not a ton.
Okay, she was the mother.
Oh, I never got that far.
Yeah, she was the mother in How I Met Your Mother.
Like, dude, the comedy is amazing. I don't even know how to explain it. Just an unbelievable movie that shows, these characters coming full age. It's unbelievable.
I would like
I did get it confused though. There was a movie we watched about like time traveling, and there was someone like had like a scavenger hunt they had to like find to get back to time or something like that, like through this town.
For the podcast?
Yeah.
Hold on. What are you talking?
Sorry for the siren.
Oh, you're good. I was wondering if that was me or you.
No, it's me.
Okay, so we have Funny in Movie Club. Time travel?
It was like someone used like clues or something.
Oh, you're thinking Idiocracy.
Yes. I got that in Palm Springs.
This is infinitely better than Idiocracy.
Because I was watching Palm Springs waiting for them to like start doing clues to get back to like the real world. Anyway, dude, unbelievable movie. I mean, it's one of my favorites.
Can I tell you?
Mario liked it more the second time too.
Nice. Okay, so I want to get into the thing that I said to you, because this all started because I rewatched it again a few weeks back. I think we've talked about this before. It's the movie that has come out like since the pandemic started.
Yep.
That I've rewatched the most. Like movies from the last couple years. It's probably the one I've rewatched. I've watched it like 4 or 5 times at this point. I watched it in bits and pieces the last couple days getting ready for this, but I did not watch it in full. But what I told you the last time I watched it was where I was like, we need to reevaluate this because this movie's great. It's bull that we like did not give it the right treatment on this
100%. Thing. Yep.
And the way that I put it, I will go ahead and read because I sent you a massive, basically an essay about why this movie is a great romantic comedy. And it kind of gets into things, and stop me whenever we get to stuff that you want to say.
Okay.
But obviously it's a time loop movie, right? The thing that's really interesting is the time loop kind of Niles, who is the Andy Samberg character, is this guy who's like so depressed.
Yep.
And when you are depressed, life kind of can feel like you are just living the same thing over and over again as you're just sort of going through the motions, right?
Yep.
No matter what, you just wake up and it's the same shit. And he's constantly like searching for something he could do that's going to make his day different, something that will make it better. And what does he find? Kristen Milioti. And I feel bad because I cannot remember the character name, but he finds Sarah.
Yeah.
And so he finds this thing. It's this great love story about these two people who had both kind of given up on themselves, were feeling like crap about themselves, and were able to find that thing that helps them get out of their rut and find meaning in a world where they had lost all meaning.
Yeah.
It's great. And it's hilarious. Like,
I wouldn't say it's hilarious. I'd say
it is hilarious. Funny. It's a very, very funny
movie. Dude, one of the best scenes is at the end when you think they're out of the time loop and then the family shows up.
Well, they could be.
I think they are.
Yeah.
My thought is they are out of the
My thought is too.
But you think they are, but you don't have confirmation.
I heard you saying that as if like.
Oh, no. Like, but that's the confirmation. And it was so funny.
Yeah.
Great movie.
It's a
I really fucked up the rating the first time. I fucked it up.
It's a really funny movie. Actually great love story. I'm so glad that we have re-ranked it. And I'm so glad
Streaming on Hulu.
God, I hope it goes on Blu-ray sometime soon. I want to own it.
And you won't buy a DVD?
Huh?
You won't buy a DVD?
Well, no, I mean, nobody really buys DVDs. But it's like a lesser thing.
I have not bought. I mean, I guess
how the way VHS was a thing before, and then Blu-ray came out and was better quality.
Yep.
So people stopped buying VHS. Now then Blu-ray came out, and now your 4K video, 4K discs have come out. So people don't really buy regular DVDs as much.
Huh.
So now it's Blu-rays or 4K. I just want a physical copy of it. That's all I want.
Great movie.
Very, very good movie. So we have reevaluated that, and we have come to the right decision on that. Soon, at some point, live on Twitch, we will reevaluate 10 Things I Hate About You, and we will give it the proper evaluation that it deserves. Once again,
I had hope on Hulu on Palm Springs. I don't have hope.
We'll fix that. And then we'll watch what I'm sure you're going to advocate for number one next week. When we watch Maid of Honor.
Great movie. Have you ever seen Maid of Honor?
I have seen enough of it to know that I've seen most of it. I've seen enough of it to know exactly what it is.
Also, Colts up 13-12 at halftime, buddy.
Woo! Love that.
Got a little parlay cooking.
A little parlay rolling.
You hedge, maybe.
I don't want to do that. That's not fun to do.
Okay.
I want it to be a win. I don't want it to be I lost, but I won because of this. No, I want to win or lose.
Fair point.
Yeah, we will watch Maid of Honor. I will be ruthless on it out of purely out of spite. Can't wait for the, do you have an idea? Because we both have, I think you have 3 left, and I have 3 left for this thing. Do you know what you're picking?
I would like to do Fever Pitch, the real one, at some point, even if it means we have to figure out a way to watch it. No.
I know one. I mean, I know the one.
Yeah, right.
But the one that will be number 1. I swear to God, if we watch, if we watch When Harry Met Sally the last week we do this thing, and you're like, oh, it's number 12, the show is done. The show's done. But I don't know. You have anything else?
Nah, man.
Okay, just let me know. Let me know when you are good to do. What trips do you have coming up soon?
Well, I'm in Minnesota.
Yes,
I'm potentially going to a mystery location next week.
Okay.
Which I can't talk about. And then I'm going to another mystery location in mid-December. Oh, I have Cincinnati. And
are there extended trips? Any extended trips where it's a few days?
I got a 4-day trip to Cincinnati from November 9th through the 13th.
We can I think that should be the window that we look for the 10 Things I Hate About You watch party. We're gonna make it happen.
I mean, I don't know that I would be able to necessarily watch it during that window.
I'm gonna make you do it. We're gonna figure it out live on Twitch. We're gonna make you address all the terrible things you said about it. But that's all we've got for this week, everybody. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating and review. If you have thoughts about Palm Springs or the moment of
10
truth,
things I hate about you,
or anything else we've talked about,
or 10 things I hate about you and how bad of a movie.
Yeah, if you want to talk about how John is wrong about 10 things I hate about you, where can they reach us on social, John Terry?
They can find us. Just tweet Carvelli3 your hot takes on 10 things I hate about you.
Honestly, please do it, because I'll defend it with my life.
It is Phoning It In Podcast on Twitter and Facebook, and Phoning It In Podcast at gmail.com. Phoning It In Pod on Twitter and Facebook.
Correct. Correct. And as
when do
always,
we think we're going to get Nick and Cody back on this thing?
We'll figure it out. I think we have to be better at. I think the fact that from you traveling and like me traveling and stuff like that, we've been very bad about communicating things.
Like literally 3 days or like 3 hours ago, I was like, "Hey, you want to do the podcast today?"
Yeah. So I think it's just going to be one of those things where we just need to plan it better. So
that's fair.
We'll get there. We'll get there. The people want it. As always, a shout out to Miguel Silva for our theme song. Check out Saving Miles Lemon on Spotify and Apple Music. And with that, that's all we have for this week. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.